This is Charleston, Memphis.
Okay. Time to call to order the Advisory Planning Commission meeting for Monday, September 8th, 2025. I do want to say first, this meeting is being live streamed by Underproduction Multimedia. So please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll do a roll call. Daisy? Marty? Harold? Here. Brian?
Here.
Wayne?
Here.
All right, we do have a quorum. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
And motion made by Harold. Do I get a second? Second by Marty. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, aye has it. Standing business, approval of prior meeting minutes
That'll be brought forward at the next meeting.
at the next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, for public comments, looks like first up, David Reed.
Evening. My name's David Reed. I live in Highview subdivision. That's going to back up to this development. And I have a lot of concerns, have had since the whole program had been started. But tonight I know it's just a rezoning. What do you think?
Excuse me, just a moment.
We need to adopt, well, we don't have the guy here that's gonna do it, but that's actually, I mean, he's adjoining property owner, so we'll have to open up the meeting for, that you're talking about, I know what you're talking about, yeah, so if you take a seat.
You'll have an open public hearing.
It's, yeah, I think everybody here is wanting, is anybody here wanting to, talk about something other than Walnut Creek? Okay, yeah, because you have to open up a public meeting for Walnut Creek. Sorry about that, David.
That's all right.
I want to make sure we get it right.
All right, so, moving ahead here, there's no old business. Let's get to new business, the appointment of a new board member. Not here, okay. All right, so, second on the list, the zoning map change request, Walnut Creek and Memphis Road.
So you have to open up the public comment, or open up a public meeting for it.
Okay,
Wait, I'm sorry.
do I have a motion
Yeah,
to?
let 10% first, I'm sorry. I'm messing y'all up.
Oh, you're messing me all up.
I know,
That's all right.
This reason you can let them talk when they open up the public.
I'm already messed up enough, Tony.
I got a lawyer here, I just don't let him talk. I got 2 lawyers here, I don't let them talk.
I'll put this, maybe here, so maybe you can see that, I don't know if you can all see that down below there.
Yep.
We don't have an evening, sorry. All right, good evening, my name is Scott Adams. I'm the Director of Real Estate for DC Develop. In this case, DC serves as a land use consultant to the petitioner, which is Woodstream Development LLC. Woodstream Development is represented here this evening by partners Chris Jackson, Kent and Kurt Abbott. Dan Christiani, another partner, is not present this evening. Also with us is our attorney, Greg Pfeiffer. Tonight's application before you is a request for rezoning. That rezoning comes in conjunction with a voluntary request to annex the same property into the city of Charlestown. Okay. For a little bit of history, in 2022, this property was rezoned from agriculture to R2 in Clark County's jurisdiction. And then several months later, a preliminary plat was approved with those R2 development standards in place. That plat was approved by the Clark County Plan Commission. Since that time, construction plans have been approved for the development, and Section 1 has proceeded with development and is now 100% complete with new home construction ready to begin. Future sections of the development have been designed and are ready to start soon. That brings us to today, which is zoning and annexation. The annexation will be handled by the city council, the zoning by this board, and then the city council. So tonight we are seeking a favorable recommendation for rezoning of the property to a planned unit development district, or PUD. The reason for the PUD designation is that Charlestown does not have a zone district that mirrors the existing R2 development standards under which the subdivision was previously approved. So if you're familiar with your own ordinance and with Tony's direction, you can customize the development standards of a planned unit development district for very specific features, unique features of the property or the project in general. In this particular case, all we've done is copy and paste. We've copied the R2 standards that were in place before and approved by the county, and are pasting them into a planned unit development district to be adopted hopefully by the city of Charlestown. Okay? There are a few exceptions to or changes that have come about as a result of the process, and they are to improve the site. You probably can't see this, but this particular site plan was what was approved. One particular change, or there's two cul-de-sacs here along the eastern boundary. We have proposed removing those two cul-de-sacs. The reason being, there's 400 feet of street, more than 400 feet of street, curb, sidewalk, sewer, drainage, and water infrastructure that frankly is not needed. We can eliminate that and put lots in their place, and that's where you see that same area on this plan. You see lots replacing those cul-de-sacs. In the end, we save the taxpayers long-term maintenance costs of maintaining that infrastructure and replace it with the same number of lots. Okay. There's also on the western boundary, there was a cul-de-sac stub street to vacant property that had a cul-de-sac bulb in it. Didn't seem to serve any purpose, and no one quite knew why it was there after so much time had passed. So we proposed eliminating that cul-de-sac bulb, which is again just additional pavement and other public infrastructure that is not needed. So we've made the site plan more efficient and cost-effective long-term for the taxpayer. One additional change is when the zoning was approved, the county commissioners placed a cap of 150 lots for this property. For some reason, there was a subsequent plat approval that occurred with only 147 lots on it. The PUD plan that's before you this evening has 150 lots, which matches the cap approved by the county commissioners. In addition, one condition that the county commissioners had imposed on the zoning was that the property be 75% completed of construction before the Burdette Drive road connection was opened. It's our position that we are more than happy to keep that road closed until we reach that 75% threshold, unless the city deems it in its interest to open it for some other public safety reason. Okay? It will be a public street connecting to Burdette. So once those roads are in, they're really not ours anymore. That control would fall to the city. And so we want to respect the authority of the city to be able to do that should it deem it in its best interest. One other change, which is again a positive one for the overall plan, the PUD plan contains a 44% increase in open space from the previously approved plat. The previously approved plat had about 5 acres of open space. We're now more than 7 acres, and that comprises about 15% of the total site. I believe the PUD requirement is about 10% on the aggregate. So that's our proposal in a nutshell. We believe that the proposal meets the requirements and ultimate objectives of the city's comprehensive plan, which contemplates residential growth and residential development in this area, especially where it is adjacent to the existing city boundary served by existing city utilities that is also zoned and developed as residential. So with that, we would ask for a favorable recommendation to the city council for the PUD district as presented.
You got some bigger maps there, can we take a peek?
These are smaller. I didn't know if you,
They're a lot bigger than.
they're bigger than that, sure
That's bigger
thing.
than that.
You got it.
Yeah, we need magnifying glasses.
Pass those down. I didn't know if you'd like to read small or large.
Burnett, since you're leaving behind you.
That's correct.
You may mention that would ultimately save the taxpayers money. Maybe you can answer, maybe you can't. How much do you anticipate with the projection?
It's really hard to come to a dollar figure, but with, 400 feet of street, or, there's, 400 feet of water, 400 feet of sewer, 800 feet of curb. There's quite a bit of infrastructure there that is no longer necessary with our redesign.
I know Highview Lakeview, and there's only a handful of people in here from Highview Lakeview. I'd like to know when the letter was sent out to let the residents know about this meeting, because I live in Highview Lakeview, I live on the corner of what's gonna become one of the busiest streets because of this subdivision. And we found our flyer Saturday in our driveway, like somebody just threw it out, and that's how I found out, even though luckily I knew because I'm on the zoning, but that's how I found out. So I'm not sure how a few of the others found out, and I'd like to know how, because I've already received paperwork for another subdivision that's trying to go in behind me in the mail, in an envelope sealed with all the, randomly found in my driveway. That's not a good way to inform anybody about a public meeting.
Well, the U.S. Postal Service is responsible for delivering notices.
No, this looked like this, laid at the foot of my driveway, and that's the only thing I received.
We had our attorney send a certified mail notice in accordance with state law to the adjoining property owners.
So is that
More
just
than
the
10
ones
days
then that
ago.
attaches to Burdette?
Yes, that is the case, yes. We wouldn't go further into the subdivision.
Okay, because I see several that live on my road, so I'm very curious as to how they found out then. All right, I was just wondering, because yes, I randomly found a notice, just stapled papers thrown in my driveway Saturday. And I'm not real big, I don't think a lot of people know I'm on the zoning until recently. So, all right. This is not a good, 403 is an extremely dangerous road. So you're adding 150 houses. What, average 2 cars a house? That's 300 cars. We're gonna be running them out of Poplar and Locust. Only a few people are actually gonna go out Charleston, Memphis, and that's the people that need to go out different ways. I'm very saddened that my road is now gonna turn into a racetrack, because that's just on average of 300. There's 3 adults in my house. We have 5 cars and 4 motorcycles. So, I can only imagine how much more the traffic is going to come up and down our road. So as far as city zoning, I don't know who does the streets, but when they open this up, a 3-way stop sign needs to go at the end of Locust. Because I literally watch people in straight confusion not know how to drive, because there's only a stop sign at the end of Locust. So people are filtering all these other vehicles out of that subdivision and up to Locust, it's gonna become a hot mess. So there's gonna have to be a three-way stop sign to accommodate this vehicle load, coming into the subdivision from the back way. And no, you're lucky, he told me I can't vote, so. But I get to have an opinion.
Sure.
And just for the record, this is just a zoning change tonight, it's not, that it's not been approved, or, it's already been approved.
Yes, it's already been
So
approved.
it's just talking about zoning.
Absolutely,
Okay, all right.
absolutely. But this is, I did not make it to the county because it conflicted with work.
Sure.
So, and county's not gonna take care of any streets in Charlestown. So, now county needs to probably address 403, because Locust and 403, it's nothing for us to sit there 5 minutes just as is to try to get off the Locust. So, county is gonna have to be addressed, I guess, on that somehow from somebody. If it be our lovely overloaded mayor. But they're gonna have to slow that down, I mean, cause it turns 50 miles an hour about a third of a mile before Locust. So it probably needs to drop back, they're gonna have to lower that down a little bit like it is in front of Ace. So,
So really the two main accesses, Burdette Drive and Charlestown Memphis Road, is that correct?
That is correct.
Burdette is in the very back of Lakeview Highview. Okay. There's a lot of traffic in the neighborhood. Is there, have been any address to Charlestown Memphis Road? Because that's highly traveled and kind of narrow, and has everybody addressed about that? I'd love to hear what you know about that.
okay, Ron?
Yes.
All these concerns were presented at the council, when the county council approved this. So, the road concerns, people out there had noticed, I know that several residents did attend those sessions. This subdivision, as it is, and the traffic that comes along with it, is going to happen. Okay, it's already been approved by the
Yes.
county. The question is, are we going to annex the subdivision into the city? This is me speaking as mayor, and the benefit to the whole community. I am favorable of this zoning, and I am favorable of this annexation because it then gives us more control, and it puts some residents with skin in the game in the city as taxpayers. If we do not annex this, in my opinion, then those residents are residents of the county using city roads, eventually coming through Lakeview Highview. We cannot stop that.
Correct.
I was against that. I made it clear that I was against that entrance, but legally, we had no standing to fight that at the time. Okay, we could have wasted taxpayer dollars on the litigation that we would have lost. We chose not to go down that pathway. I've told the developers that I was against coming on Burdette. And I'm saying it again, and I know they're in the room hearing me say that. However, by annexing it into the city, we now generate a revenue source that we can do those things like Marnie is mentioning, by putting proper signage, by investing in the roads throughout Lakeview Highview, if they use that as an entrance point, and it gives us a little more leverage to pressure the county to take the corridor study that we provided them and enact those safety features. That includes a center dedicated left-hand turn lane at the Lakeview Highview entrance. We've also been very proactive with the county in making recommendations, and Tubby Purcell spoke to the representative from the county yesterday and again today, and make the recommendation that they drop the speed limit on 403 at Witten Drive, which is right close to Danbury Oaks. So our recommendation to them is to drop the speed limit there to 30, which slows people down up through that area. Of course, we will heavily enforce that as well. So I'm happy to answer any questions on behalf of the city for this board, but again, this neighborhood has already been approved. These 150 homes are coming. The time to make arguments about the traffic has passed because that was at the county level. At this point, it's the city's, I think, it's in the city's best interest to at least capture what revenue we can. By adding this neighborhood to the sewer, it keeps our sewer rates down because it spreads that cost across multiple users. Keeps our garbage rates down because it spreads that cost across multiple users. And it gives us some control over, and some funding to make sure that we're providing safe access through these neighborhoods. That's just my opinion. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
And that sounds like you and I were on the same page with that.
You still didn't address Charleston Memphis Road.
I don't know what you want, yes, it came up, people mentioned it as traffic.
That's a city road.
It's not a city
No,
road,
that's county.
it is county.
It stops right past.
It's not, any of it is, none of it is a city road. It's all a county road.
160 is not.
There's a small, yeah, all that's county,
Really?
yes.
Julie History cannot vote for the city mayor.
She is in the city limits.
That's Charleston Memphis Road.
Well.
The road is not ours, in the same way that Market Street
I'm just
is
saying
not
that- That's
ours.
not our road, okay.
That's not our
And
road.
like 403 is not
Right,
ours.
403 is a county road, but the
I knew
most of the
403 was
residents on it are ours.
Market Street's not all right.
I knew
Market Street, yeah.
those, Glenn, but I
Yeah,
thought
62
Charleston-
is not, 160 is not, most of Tunnel Mill is not, like, yeah, that's our burden, is that we have all these agencies that we must work with to bring about
Charleston
change.
Memphis Road's a county road.
Yes,
I did not know that.
You're
Learn
born and
something
raised on
every
the
day.
county road.
yes. So all the way to Saddlebag, none of that is, it's all a county road.
Did not
And
know
I will
that.
tell you that several residents did raise those concerns at the time that this was approved by the county. So, but it was approved.
Okay.
All right, any other questions?
Is there any way that we could ask the county, my only concern is, or one of them, I guess, would be on Charleston Memphis Road, you know, where they can have a turn lane to go in there, or a bypass, because it's, you know, if cars stopping to go in there, like you said, about 300 cars going there right now, chances for a rear-end collision is pretty great.
We can ask,
I mean, no.
Yeah, over.
Maybe our developer would help us.
we can ask.
It
Right.
does have a, it does have a little paper.
Good?
Oh,
Good, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
To add to the mayor's comments about taxable property and additional users on city services, there's an estimated $50 million of assessed value in this neighborhood. Okay, most likely will be more. That's a low estimate. The city has that estimate and are running it through a fiscal analysis to determine the total dollars generated from property within this project. But there's an estimated $50 million of assessed value in this in this whole project. In addition, 150 new users on trash collection, 150 new users on the sanitary sewer system. And to the mayor's point, that makes the operation of those city services more efficient and more effective for all residents of Charlestown, not just this particular neighborhood.
So it comes down to what I took away from what the mayor was saying, it comes down to, do we want the city to benefit any, or do we want just the county to
Right.
benefit?
It's gonna happen.
Because it's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, I
happen,
mean, it's
That's
gonna
right.
happen.
with or
right.
without us, it's
That's
going
right.
to happen.
Yes,
That's
yes.
So it comes down to now just, you know,
Making sure it's done the right way
making
for
sure it's
us.
done right and the city of Charlestown benefits,
Correct.
so, okay.
I see you're gonna have a homeowners association on this.
Yes.
Will there be any type of wood fences and everything, you know, for privacy fences, will that be taken out, maybe like vinyl or steel or something?
Yeah, right now, we're fully cemented all the details of the HOA documents, but right now, wood fences are not permitted.
And then the other question on the lighting, would that be similar to the lighting that Charlestown has, the street lighting?
I don't believe so. There were two options given to me by REMC. We made a choice between those two options. It's got kind of an acorn globe on it.
Okay.
Looks like an acorn.
These all will have sidewalks.
Yes, sidewalks, yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Now we will open it up for public hearing. All right, first up, David Reed.
Is that my cue? Okay, I make an apology. I'm the one that invaded our local neighbors and informed them because I knew the process was
Okay,
just to
good
give
to
me
know.
notice as well as some other people.
So I didn't throw it, I put it in your, and the wind must have taken it out.
Oh, yeah, that has been found out when he,
Okay.
so, thank you
I,
very
I'm
much
not here
for
to
clarifying that.
condemn or try to condemn the development. You know, I have been in the past in construction and I understand development. What I'm concerned about is we're at a stage right now where we're talking about rezoning and it automatically falls into annexation and the city inherits or takes over this creation that the county has given us, without the county having to do anything at all other than sit back and make more messes. As you pointed, it's gonna develop a lot of confusion in our neighborhood, a lot of extra cars going through our neighborhood and trying to get out on 403. So why can't the county at least be oppressed or be concerned enough to do something about the entrance into our subdivision? As the mayor said, that's in the discussion. Why can't it be applied a little more, you know, to get that going so that we don't have it after the 300 cars start coming out, now we're gonna cut it down and we're gonna do the construction afterwards. The same thing happens when you go out Charlestown Memphis Road. You gotta intersect with 160 and you gotta come out to 403 where there's an abortion of stuff going on right there at that intersection. Why can't the county go ahead and say, look, we're creating a headache for the city of Charlestown by adding all these cars? Why can't they step in at this point and create something there? Reroutes, I don't, you know, I got a million ideas, but anyhow, I think that the city, before they annex at least, or before they rezone, they ought to have some input to the county, because they gave us this. They gave all this without any concern. We as citizens went to several meetings, expressed our concerns about safety, about this download of Burdette Road, and the download into our subdivision. Deaf ears, didn't make a bit of difference. They kept referring back to the law. The law says that they have crossed all the T's, dotted all the I's, and we have to accept it. Well, you didn't have to accept that layout. That layout could have gone back to Charlestown Memphis Road. I did enough research to know they did that because that benefited their sale, to download our subdivision. So now that they create the abortion, at least have some input and some consideration for us. There's another axe, as you can see on this. There's another entrance over Danbury Oaks. It's not going anywhere. It's dead. And if nothing else, there should be some pressure added to somebody, the county, the developers, somebody to help us out. That would ease some of the flow out of one subdivision. It would put some flow into Danbury, and supposedly Danbury's gonna have this great intersection at some point, who knows when, that ties it all the way over to 62. So why not funnel it over to that point? Anyhow, I can go on and on. I just think that safety is something that needs to be concerned a lot more than we have. I don't know, have you guys had a meeting on this before tonight? So there's been no discussion, no understanding of safety or how this thing's gonna unfold. It's just the developer presents a rezoning application.
Yeah, because it's county, it's not city,
Right,
so.
that's always been our hands tied behind us. It's county, it's county, it's county. We don't have anything to say. All of a sudden, it's not county, it's coming city, and now we've got an abortion in front of us. So I just think there needs to be some consideration, especially to safety, because it's gonna be ugly, as you pointed out earlier. Thank you very much for those comments. That's all I've got to say.
Thank you. All right, next up, is it Rebecca or? Okay.
My name is Rebecca Resch, and I live at 8410 Locust Drive. I don't know that I'm at the correct place, but I got notices about subdivision areas going in that may affect my piece of property. And I don't know There's not been any meetings, there's not been anything official to the homeowners about this area that's going in and how it's gonna affect properties.
I think that one is different.
That one got changed.
That one's a different, that one's not
Yeah,
here
she
tonight.
Okay.
That's a different.
And that, I'm sure that this is different, however, hearing the comments about this going through the subdivision, and I live on Locust Drive, and basically, I'm not happy with the fact that we don't have streetlights, we don't have sidewalks, we don't have the things that is being proposed for some of these new areas. And we've been in the city for quite a long time. I do know that not only the construction vehicles are going through these areas, tearing up the roads. I said, I thought that there was going to be an entry to this area through Danbury. I am sad to hear that that is not the case. I think that we have a lot of children. They ride their bicycles, they are on those roads, and we've already had incidents of children being hurt in the area as a result of things back in that area. I just feel like that the city needs to work with the county, and the county obviously needs to work with our city. I'm not opposed to development. I think the city needs the annexation. I think that we need more housing in the area for people coming here. But I think that things are being done not in a way that is not affecting the citizens that's lived here for years. I think you have to be very cautious about the things that are approved. I know our hands are tied behind our back sometimes, but we've got to keep pushing the county and these builders. The builders are gonna make money. Yes, we need to provide services to those people from the city, which is gonna help us. But we need to sit down and let definitely the homeowners know what's going on. I think it's disrespectful to the people who own property here and have had property here in the city for years and supported this city for years. I just think that let's step back and take a bigger look at things. And yes, we welcome builders, you know, we welcome them. But let's let the citizens know what is going on in a proper way, that everybody is informed. Because I've got 2 letters here from another project, and they're different, you know. Let's make them accountable for what they're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is, make out what that is. Is it Glenn?
Been Reese.
Okay.
I'm Glenn Maurice. I live at 8611 South Dogwood in Lakeview subdivision. I have a concern. I've lived out there for 30 years. I've seen the kids play in the street. Every morning I see school buses out there and kids actually standing in the street to get a bus. Now, we're gonna lose some kids one of these days, and somebody's gonna have the answers. But I'm here, when you think about annexing and all this, make it right. Don't have a subdivision sit there for 30 years with no sidewalks, no street lights, nothing. And they're thinking about going out and getting new. Better take care of what we got. That's all I have.
Thank you. Okay, last on the list, Greg Pfeiffer.
Mr. Adams introduced me, and I'm just here to answer any questions.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Pfeiffer?
Oh, somebody in the back.
I'm not on the list for a speaker, but I'd like to say something if I could.
Yeah, yeah, come on up.
Take me a little bit to get there. My name is Warren Chrisman. I live at 8508 Bonneville Drive. If that traffic comes through the subdivision of Lakeview, there's an intersection right below my house where most of the traffic will be coming. One of the concerns I have, will the sewers in this new development be connected with the sewers in Lakeview Highview?
Yes.
Yes, it will be.
Is the developer going to upgrade the lift station in Lakeview Highview to take care of this?
Yes.
Okay. And also, I think to distribute, we're talking about a lot of traffic, distribute traffic, it ought to be opened up to Danbury Oaks. Distribute, I mean, don't run it all through one subdivision. Distribute it out. That's all I have.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, any discussion from the board?
No, since this is just for annexation, I mean, and I mean, I'm not opposed to the.
Still gotta go through the city and then
Yes, to go with the council, yeah.
Could you go?
It's gotta go through you, Chuck. But-
Okay, for the,
Questions?
zoning map change request, for the annexation of Lakewood Highview area.
Before we take a vote, hold on.
Yeah.
I do have concerns with this, and I really do, as far as traffic patterns to Lakeview, Highview, Charlestown, Memphis Road, that all really concerns me. But I know DC, and they do some great work, and they've always been good stewards to the city of Charlestown. So if there's anybody I think that would work with the city and try to make things better, I think it's going to be DC. So that's who we want to develop this as a developer.
And maybe there's, I don't know if there's not a way at all to go into Danbury, as some are expressing, to help that overflow. That's just something we're going to look into,
And that's something I think that DC will
Yeah.
look into.
I can speak to that a little bit if you would like me to.
Please,
sure,
please.
yeah, that would answer their questions for them.
In regards to the, access to Danbury, there is like a creek, a large creek, and Danbury owns the property between us and Danbury. There's a large ravine there that would have like a bridge built. It would be, probably at a minimum $1 million or so in order to do that. We want, our goal is to be a great community citizen. I hope you all seen that, and I appreciate the comments there with what we're doing in Shadow Lake and trying to do a great job. However, if it's forced that we have to go to Danbury, we're better off to stay in the county and not do our voluntary annex at that point. We think it behooves the city to do this for the voluntary annex. We get it. Would that be agreeing to have 3 outlets for a subdivision? I would love to have 3 ways out. I mean, I absolutely would. It's a requirement that we have 2 entrances in the county. And that's why we thought that it was good to tie the time, because in some day and manner, we're gonna have construction on 403 that's gonna get upgraded, or if it's gonna be downgraded, or something's gonna happen. And the residents in Highview Lakeview are actually gonna go the other way and go out the other way sometime. It's gonna be a good way for them to get out. The other thing I've seen is that, you know, Danbury already connects to Highview Lakeview. Everything don't have to go out Locust. Like when I go out, I don't go to Locust. If I'm on Burdette, I go out and then turn right and go through Danbury and go out. So all the concentration don't have to be on Locust and what's the other one? Poplar. You know, a lot of times I never even do that last little else. I just take my right and go out past the playground or the little pocket park and go out that way to Danbury. So I think it does give you a good access point. Another thing is it's actually quicker if you're going to JC and down in Clarksville where you're at. And like I said, these people are gonna be trained 75% of the subdivision has to be completed before we ever even open that. So you're gonna have probably 100 residents in their houses and using that way every day before they open that. So, I mean, time you get 100 houses sold, I mean, you're gonna be several years down the road. And at that point, if it was great desire and all the stars aligned and the city wanted to do something to connect Danbury, I'm sure there's a stub street or something that could maybe make that connection to get across there if it became an issue later. But when I see because as a taxpayer here in Charlestown, you know, the revenue that the city's gonna get is gonna be great for all the other residents, you know, the people that don't have the sidewalks, that don't have the street lighting and things like that. When you take the tax revenue off $50 million, that's a huge income boost to the city of Charlestown. And I believe our development, our selection to do a voluntary annex is a little bit of a gift to the city. And I can't say nothing but good things about the city of Charlestown. And if we didn't think it was a good thing, we wouldn't be doing it, and I wouldn't put my personal name on it. And, you know, if we're gonna develop here in Charlestown, we wanna be a good partner for a long time, because we're here to leave, not to leave, we're not leaving. I just built my new office here, so we're not going anywhere. And I wanna be a good citizen for all you also. If there's a way we can come together and come common ground at a later date, when we have tax dollars and we can make it aligned to be able to connect to Danbury, I'll be more than happy to work with you all to help you to do something that's cost effective to try to do it. But
I just appreciate that explanation you just gave.
Yeah.
Because I think some of them are, you know. those
if it was
who
an
don't know
easy
that land,
connection,
Yeah.
if it was an easy connection and it cost a couple $100,000, by golly, we'd put it right across there and go. But it's literally gonna be $1 million to get across that creek.
And I know the mayor mentioned a turn lane possibly at Locust. That would be a game changer for something like Danbury. Because I count my blessings every day that I turn on Locust on my motorcycle and do not get ran over.
Well, I think if there is an ever improvement at Danbury entrance, which I hope there will be, because obviously we own all the ground across from there too.
Yes.
So, we are obviously hoping for that improvement.
Right.
What I see will happen is more than likely, these people are gonna come out through Burdette and go out that way. They're gonna take a right, they're gonna go through Danbury, just like they would if they were crossing the creek. And then they're gonna come out the new light. They're not gonna go out at Locust or Poplar. They're gonna use the
But that's a
light.
lot through Danbury also.
It-
Because I
it-
walk
it
all
is.
that and we have to yell at people daily to slow down. Like people, for some reason, they think that road is a racetrack when you're flying through.
That's everywhere though.
Yeah, you know,
It is.
Locust is really bad too. Lucky me, I'm married to one of Charlestown's police officers, and he screams at people every night when we go walking, because either Locust or on that, for some reason, that road that goes into Danbury, they just, it's like a racetrack.
And honestly, it's a catch-22 for any development you're doing, you know. Nothing saddens me more than hearing people complaining about something we're doing. And, you know, it hurts my heart for people not to be happy with something we're doing, because we want to make people happy. But on the other hand, you know, if we never build new developments, we can't have more residents in the city. And we can't have more people, you know, at one point in time, Highview Lakeview was a development, and I'm sure people were mad then. And, you know, it's just, as this thing goes, it's a tough one to make everybody happy all the time. But our job as developers is we want to try to do the best we can for the city. And I will tell you, if there's a way we can make that work and we work together with the city to help pay for it off of some of the tax dollars at a later date, we will, but we can't do anything like that right now because of the large cost to create that construction. And we don't own the property either, it's not our property. So, anything else?
Thank you very much.
Thank you all, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I do need to swear in our new member before a vote is taken.
Okay.
Shane, if you'll stand up. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Shane Hoffman,
Do hereby accept the above appointment
do hereby accept the above appointment
and solemnly swear
and solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the State of Indiana
that I will support the Constitution of the State of Indiana
and to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
I will faithfully and impartially
I will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties
I will discharge the duties
and accept the responsibilities
and accept the responsibilities
of a member of the Charlestown Advisory Plan Commission,
Charlestown Advisory Plan Commission,
and that I will observe and obey
and that I will observe and obey
all laws
all laws
related to said office
related to said office
now in force
now in force
or which may hereafter
or which may hereafter
be enacted during my term,
be enacted during my term,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I affirm under the penalties of perjury
I affirm under the penalties of perjury
that these representations are true.
that these representations are true.
Thank you. Before you leave, you'll need to sign this. You can blame Tony on that one.
It's not easy to get sworn in, but it's a police officer.
Okay. All right, now you're legal to vote. All right, so for the annexation, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, motion made by Harold, second by Brian. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, ayes have it, it will go before the,
Oh,
One abstain. You got
Don't
one.
you say abstain?
oh,
Okay,
abstain.
yeah, I have to abstain.
Okay,
Yes.
Marty abstains.
Yes.
All right, ayes have it, it will go before the council.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. Okay, if there's nothing else,
Yeah, I have anything.
okay, go ahead.
This kind of addresses some of the concerns that these citizens have here. I know that Jeff had this before, and I think Charlestown had it before, fringe area.
Can I, real quick, you said annexation, that was a zoning.
The zoning,
Yeah, so let's let the record reflect.
So
that
let's-
the
okay,
vote
so
was
let
on zoning change as opposed to an annexation.
okay, so zoning change,
Correct.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Just
And
for
then
the record.
council does the annexation, correct?
okay, all right, got it.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
No problem.
You'll get that next.
Okay, sorry, Harold.
A fringe area, you know, maybe this will help the city to plan future developments and everything. It goes like 2 miles out, and I think it's the max. We can probably limit that, but if for future growth of the city, and I guess we have to get the county approved, but it starts with the planning commission. And I don't know if that's something that you all want to look at, a recommendation for that. I don't know, I'll probably get the mayor.
If the board would like, I can look into, it's been 20 years since we did the last one. I can look into what we need now, because I'm sure it's changed, just like annexation's changed, the 2 mile fringe. So
Okay, you can look into that,
I'll
and
look and give you a
let us
report
know.
at the next meeting.
Okay. All right, anything else? All right, we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion made by Brian,
I'll second it.
second by Wayne. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.